Namaskar viewers. I hope you guys are doing good. And let's welcome Skoda India Brand Director, Mr. Ashish Gupta.
Thank you.
Sir, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this event and giving me a chance to interact with you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for coming, Sundar.
So, sir, देखिए, as always, we have some questions from our community.
Yeah, sure.
So, let's get started with that.
Bilkul.
Sir, first question is, we were stubborn on the thing that Skoda will not enter 4-meter segment. But we have seen with Kylaq and we have seen the success also. So what made that push to get into this segment?
And I think, Sundar, it's very clear that Skoda wants to be a relevant brand in India, And if you have to be a relevant brand, I think there is no denying the fact that the sub 4-meter SUV segment is the biggest segment in India. It is 30% of the market. So if you have to become relevant, you have to enter the segments that are relevant.
We have seen that Kylaq is doing fantastic numbers. The start is very good. But at the same time, I have noticed that somewhat Kushaq and Slavia's numbers somewhat are down, as if it is cannibalizing these two cars. So do we have any plans that sales number for those cars remain sustainable?
Sundar, I think you will also understand it once you get into a new segment. It's a new segment for the entire network. So far they have been used to selling the Kushaq, Slavias and the Kodiaqs, which are more of a premium cars. Yeah. Now with the Kylaq, there is a very different set of customers walking into your showrooms, and it takes a little bit of learning phase for the teams how to handle these different set of customers differently. So I think that has been the learning phase for the last 2 or 3 months, and that is something which will change very, very quickly. But having said that, you also have to accept market reality in the sense that the segments that we are now in are hyper competitive. The Kushaq segment is hyper competitive. There are a lot of newer products available there. The Kushaq is now 4 years into its life cycle. So definitely it will not hit the numbers that we were used to, But having said that, last year we were hitting around 1,500, 1,700 Kushaq on every month. We will have to take some actions. If those actions call for better offers for the customers, better positioning of our cars, better supply, better communication, that definitely we will do.
Last time when we met, we discussed about how European brands have the strength in turbo engines, and it's a dream for other brands to match this number. Just like we have seen with Kylaq also that it is doing 5,000 numbers.
Yeah.
With MQB A0i in, we were told that it's a flexible platform. So, as you said, we are doing great in turbo, but it is still targeting one niche customers. So, is there any plan that we can bring MPI into the picture?
No, I think if you look at it in our portfolio itself, there are MPI engines available, world over. Not many options, to be honest, in the Volkswagen group in terms of MPI engine availability, but in some parts of the world we do have MPI engines still. But the challenge has always been whether those MPI engines are compatible with regulations. Yeah. So that's something which holds us back a little bit. Making any engine family compatible with regulations. I'm talking about the Euro 6, Euro 7. It takes a lot of investment. It takes a lot of development. So we have placed our bets on our turbo engines, and I think they're doing pretty well.
Yes. As we have seen in the presentation, we are sitting on 7th spot, which is, I'll say, it's a huge thing, a dream for, I'll say, a Skoda lover, right? And we were discussing that we are relevant now. Sitting at 2.5, we are relevant. So you said in the presentation that we might consider new products because we are relevant now. So with 1.5 TSI, 250 Nm torque, we have seen that brands have 6-seaters under 25 lakh. Is Skoda considering something like that? Because Kodiaq, yes, it's targeting premium customers. But if someone wants something in budget under 30, 35, do we have some kind of plans?
No, I think you're totally right. With the Kylaq and Kushaq, now you actually have within the SUV portfolio from Skoda, starting from 8.25 up to 19 lakhs, and every 50, 60, 70,000, you have a car. And the next car after the Kushaq is then the Kodiaq. So definitely the gap that you're talking about, I think that's not an easy gap to bridge. You can always bridge that with the small volume FBUs or so bringing some parts and component car. But if you have to be again relevant in that segment, and that is what is very clear to my mind, that any car you bring, any product that you bring has to be relevant. Just for the sake of doing it, you shouldn't do it. So that's something which will take a little bit time for us to address that price gap. But that is definitely an opportunity area.
as we have seen in the presentation about the trust you were talking about, that first-time customer should trust Skoda in a way that they are trusting some other brands. I have seen the efforts that we are trying to bring service costs down. They are very much at par with the competition.
Yes. And you have spoken about it.
Yes. So, do you think that we are putting enough effort in the marketing for this particular thing? Because somewhere I still feel that ground level, customer still see Skoda as an expensive brand.
No, that's true. And from my experience, and Sundar, that I've spent more than half of my career in after sales. I think what changes service perceptions is basically consistency of experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for us, that is my assessment. We have not been very consistent in the delivery of service experience across our network. That has also been, got a little bit to do with the change in the dealer network, change in direction that has been happening. So once you are consistent and you deliver on your promises, trust develops.
Yes.
So, and it's not something which can be changed overnight. So my focus right now is to get everybody focused on, that customer-oriented culture.
Absolutely.
Because any strategy you can have, but as long as your culture doesn't support that strategy will fail. So my focus is on development of a service culture in our organization to make sure that we promise and we deliver consistently a great customer experience across the network.
With 1.0, we discussed many times that it is Indianized.
Yes.
Do you think that if we will Indianize 1.5 also, we can bring costs of Kushaq and Slavia down somewhat, and that will make it even more value for money?
I think if you look at it, Sundar, the Kushaq and Slavia are very competitively priced in the segments that they are in. Yeah, so and they offer great value, in terms of the drivability of the car, the kind of power they offer, the kind of features at that price they offer, the reliability and the safety and build quality that they offer. So I think we are very competitively priced. So again, localization of powertrain is a very investment heavy thing. Yeah. So you have to also be clear, do you have the product portfolio to support that localization? I cannot look at 1.5 or any powertrain localization in isolation. You need to have a wider product portfolio and volumes to support that investment as well. Yeah. So the product portfolio comes first. The engine portfolio or powertrain portfolio has to fit into that.
We have seen the Trio SUVs,
Yes.
which I realized that we have 3 SUVs now.
Yes.
Skoda has 3 SUVs. How do you see Kodiaq? What numbers are you expecting it to bring as a CKD?
Kodiaq, I think, is a very well-established brand. And, we launched it in May, basically, starting of May. Within first 1 month, we had 500 bookings. Yeah. Last month, we delivered 250 cars. It is going very strong this month as well. Demand is far outstripping the supply I have right now, actually, on the Kodiaq. Yeah. I think it is a unique product in that segment. There is nothing like that in the Indian market right now.
I do agree. Yeah. I have just 2 questions left.
Yeah.
With our existing lineup, yes, they are feature loaded. We have recently given that electric seats, and
ventilated
already
seats,
we have ventilated seats and electric sunroof, and
Yeah.
everything is there. But even then, some customers demand for front sensors, bigger sunroof. You must be having the dealer feedback or customer
Yes,
feedback
definitely,
like that.
definitely.
So how do we ensure that customer doesn't go back just because of these
No, I
demands?
think, as I said, you have to continuously evolve the value that you provide through your products to customers. And if that value for customers is sunroofs and front PDCs or whatever it is, we have to just provide it. Yeah. Okay. There's no question about it.
Okay. One last question is there. I'll show the screenshot on my video.
Yeah.
One customer is saying that after driving Kushaq, he's unable to upgrade into anything, and he needs at least 50 lakhs to spend to get a new car.
Yeah.
So how do we answer such kind of customers that the experience is so good with Kushaq that he's not able to upgrade, he doesn't like anything?
Anything else?
So why is that?
No, I think, my personal experience, not only with this brand, but with the brand that I worked previously as well. These are cars that grow on you, because they're very different from what they are used to. Typical human behavior is, अगर आप किसी चीज़ के साथ familiar हो, it's easier to fall in love with that. For our cars, for Skoda cars, you have to experience it, and then you start falling in love with it. But the good thing is, once you fall in love with it, you cannot fall out of love with this. Yeah, so the brand loyalty for our brand is very, very high, you know. So that's the nature of the brand. That's what keeps our legacy going.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One last bonus question. You talked about automatics.
Ji.
While coming back from the Kodiaq event, one staff member was there and I discussed the same point that Skoda Kylaq comes at 10.80 with proper automatic.
Yes.
How do we communicate to the end customer that with GDI engine at 10.80 with torque converter, it is much, much better value for money as compared to something which...
Definitely, and I think that insight is very so specific and I think so insightful. That is the exact campaign we have started this month. If you have seen, all our communication this month is about communicating this exact point. You know?
GDI with
turbo engines, the 1 liter turbo engine, the 1.5 TSI with DSG, the 1 liter turbo engine with the automatic, the Kylaq starting the most accessible automatic in our in the segment.
Yep.
You know, the true automatic.
Yes.
This is exactly the campaign we are running right now. This is exactly the training that has gone to our dealerships. Our entire offer structure is built around automatics. You know, and it was very insightful for me when I came to this brand that with now the Kylaq automatic starting at 10.85, virtually at every 50 or 60,000 across Kylaq, Kushaq and Slavia, we have an automatic.
Right.
Starting from 10.85 going up to 19, every 50, 60,000 we have an automatic.
Yeah.
So a customer today, when a customer walks in, Sundar, and you know it, his need is mobility.
Yes.
है ना? Customer mind बना के आता है कि यार मेरे को ease of mobility चाहिए, let me go for an automatic. But our traditional mindset of selling a product is ये Kylaq का कस्टमर है, ये कुशाक का कस्टमर है, ये स्लाविया का कस्टमर है. Whereas कस्टमर वो माइंड बना के नहीं आया, उसको मोबिलिटी चाहिए. So the value proposition that I am trying to get our people trained on is उसकी need समझो पहले. His need is ease of mobility. Doesn't matter whether it is Kylaq, Kushaq or Slavia. First is ease of mobility or need of mobility, and secondly is what is the amount he is willing to pay.
Correct.
And now with the Kylaq, Kushaq and Slavia, we have a wide range to fit every budget.
Definitely.
Yeah. So understand the need of mobility and then accordingly pitch him the product, not bracket him as he's a Kylaq, he's a Kushaq, he's a Slavia.
Upfront. We should not think like that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Ashish Gupta ji, for your time, and I wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
And I hope that we'll meet soon.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, Sundar.